Hey everyone, my name's Drew and I'm super excited to be here behind the screen with you today. And before we get started, can you do me a favor? Can you go grab a Bible and something to write with? I'll wait here. Okay, now that you've gotten those things, I want you to turn to Psalm 199, and we're going to be there. And as you turn those pages to Psalm 199, hear what we're going to be talking about today. Psalm 199:73 says, "Your hands made me and formed me and give me understanding to learn your commands." And so in lesson 1, we talked about all the reasons that God created us. And Miss Kilpatrick taught us that the reason God created you was to reflect God's image, to work, to have relationship, and to be with God. And today, I want to think about the ways God has created us differently. And some of us have brown hair, right? Some of us have gray hair. Some of us have big toes. Some of us have big fingers. Some of us have different eye colors. Some of us are good at sports. Some of us are good at music. Some are super funny and some are super artistic. What are you? So right behind the screen, I want you to talk to your family. What things are you really good at? And God gave us different skills, right? Talents, likes, and dislikes. And these aren't accidents. He did this on purpose. Can you believe that? And yesterday we learned that God's purposes in creating us is for us to do work. And He has a special work for each of us to really do. And this is what Ephesians 2 says, if you want to turn there with me real quick. Ephesians 2:10. This is what it says. "For you are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God has prepared you in advance to do." Get this, and I want you to write these 4 things down on the piece of paper that you have right there. Number 1, you are God's handiwork. He has made you just the way He wants you. You are special to Him. Number 2, because of that, because God made you exactly who you are to be right now, He's prepared good things for you, good works for you to do that only you can do. Number 3, He's prepared something special for you. Even before you were born, God had laid the foundations just for you. And number 4, and this is for you and me, God has called us, all of us, to be a part of what He's doing in the world. And that is so awesome. So this passage in Ephesians 2, it reminds me of one of my special experiences with my wife. We love to go cross-country skiing. And here's the deal. If you've never been cross-country skiing, you have to put your boots on, you have to get special skis, you have to get special poles, you have to get different gloves, and maybe some of you might wear a helmet. Who knows, right? So, and each one of us is different. Each one of the skiers is different. Some of you are tall, some of you are short, your boot size is different, your skis are shorter or longer. When you're cross-country skiing, especially in the Roosevelt National Forest, we woke up at 6 a.m. in the morning and we drove, and there was fresh powder everywhere. Not even a human track was to be seen, but there were like wolves and coyotes and other animals that you could see their tracks, right? Well, when we're cross-country skiing, there's no path. Absolutely no path, and so we got to create our own. And in order to go cross-country skiing, you have to stay in order. You have to follow the person in front of you. And as we walk through this big forest, kind of like what's behind me right now, like we're just going through the snow on this crisp morning in the Roosevelt National Forest. And this passage reminds me of that. And in 1 Corinthians 12, this is what it says in verses 4 through 6, that there are different kinds of gifts, but the same Spirit distributes them. There are different kinds of service, but the same Lord. And there are different kinds of working, but in all of them, in everyone, God is at work. We're all people, but just like in cross-country skiing, some are better at climbing, right? And some are better at just bombing the slope. Some are better seeing through the forest, and some are just better being the caboose in the back. And the really awesome thing about cross-country skiing to me is everyone has their place, but we have to work together as a team to succeed. So we have the leader, the one that's blazing the trail. You have the one who's taking pictures along the way to help us see our memories in the past. You have the funny guy, right? The person who is laughing the whole time. The intense person where we need to get to the goal and then come back. And of course, the caboose. We all had to play our special part. We all had to ski together, or else we'd get lost in the forest. We were making one path, and that path helped us come home. Okay, I know what you're thinking here. I know you're thinking about Elsa and Anna and Kristoff and Finn and Olaf and maybe all the other characters in Frozen, right? So what I want you to do is imagine all of those Frozen characters going cross-country skiing. You know, if one decided to go off, they wouldn't be a team anymore. If one decided not to play their role, the team would then falter. It wouldn't be okay. And this is what it says later on in 1 Corinthians 12. Just as a body, though one, has many parts, but all its many parts form one body, so it is with Christ. For we are all baptized by one Spirit, so as to form one body, whether Jews or Gentiles, slaves or free, and we are all given the one Spirit to drink, even though one body is made up of one part, but of many. These are the three critical things I want you to leave with today. Remember, you are God's handiwork. You are special. There's only one like you, and God has designed you exactly the way He wants you. Follow the path. Just like in cross-country skiing, follow the person in front of you because you're better as a team. And once you follow that path, it reminds you of how to get home once you turn around. And number 3, you can't do this alone. Your parents are there with you. Your friends are here with you. And just as the church is filled with many different parts, we make up one body. And so today, what I want you to do is brainstorm what your family can do to show that you are God's handiwork in the world.